Hi guys, I'm Clinton with BBQ Pit Stop, and today we are going to do a beef hammer. These are also known as Thor's hammer. These are a very fun cook. A lot of different muscles that are going into this. It's part of the shank off of one of their legs going into one of their femur bones. Since it has all these muscles going into it, today we're going to get this trimmed up, seasoned, ready to go. We're going to start smoking it, then we're going to finish it with a braise and make it into tacos. Typically, these shanks come and they're already trussed up. They have these butcher's twine all over it. I got this one from one of our local butchers. So we're gonna take this twine off. We're gonna take off all of the silver skin and all of the fat. Then we're going to retruss it up and hit it with our rubs. This isn't a difficult prep. You do have to cut quite a bit off, but most of what you're going to be cutting off is the silver skin. You have this film underneath or all over it that we're going to be cutting off. What we are trying to do is expose as much of the protein as possible. That's the good part. That's the part that you want to eat. That's the part that's going to absorb the smoke. This silver skin, this layer of, it's almost like a saran going all over it. It's not going to allow much smoke to penetrate. It doesn't allow the rub to stick to it, so we want to take it all off. All right, I'm getting the last of this silver skin off, and I want to just point out that you have so many muscles and tubes coming into this that you can't chase it all. I'm not too worried about some of this stuff that I can't reach. So when I tie it up, that's going to go away. It's going to be hidden. But I wanted to show this part right here. Now you have this valley going down. You have some major muscles going in on this. Don't chase the fat. Don't chase the silver skin. You'll end up just separating these muscles more and more and more, like I have started to do here. So when we truss it up, that's going to come together anyway. Don't stress about getting everything out of all of these little valleys all over the place. And that looks pretty good. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just get most of the silver skin or the fat. We got a pretty good chunk off right here. But the next thing we're going to do is tie her up. Just some normal butcher's twine. I like to get a real long piece. I don't know why I like doing that. It's easier for me, but you tie this up however is better for you. Ended up getting a little bit too much. And I always start at the bottom. This part where the bone is exposed, that's what I consider to be the top. But I always start down here at the bottom. Little trick is if you go around 3 times and then you pull it tight, it holds it. See, I'm not really holding that anymore, but it holds that strength there. So you can keep it pretty tight, pretty even. And then I truss it up like I do a prime rib, about every 3/4 of an inch to every inch. Just put another loop in it. You can tie it, get it pretty tight. This is going to shrink quite a bit when we start cooking it and when we start braising it. So I like putting a little bit extra space in between these. Like I said, 3/4 of an inch to an inch. We're just going to season her up, let it set for a couple of hours in the fridge or something, and then we'll put it on a smoker and let her smoke for a couple of hours. Today, the seasonings that we're using are the True Bud and the All-Star. I'm going to put the All-Star on first. This is a great all-purpose rub that we use a lot. I like the paprika, the color that it does. It also has a slight little kick to it that I'm looking for. And you'll see that this bone on the back comes all the way through. I mean, you can hit that bone. You're not doing too much on that side. So that's the side that's going to be cooking. We're going to put that side down on the smoker. All right, looks pretty good for the All-Star. And then the True Bud, this is the General. We like this one. This is a great brisket one. It's got some large granules of salt in it. It's got a little bit of herbs. It's got a lot of garlic. We like that garlic. A little bit more on the True Bud than what we did with the All-Star. We want more of the True Bud flavor to come out, but we like the look and some of the undertones of that All-Star on here. Since we're gonna braise this at the end, we want to put a little bit extra rub on it. A lot of that will come out during this whole cooking process. All right, that's looking pretty good for us. Now we're just gonna put her in a pan, put it in the fridge for a couple of hours and put it on the smoker at 225. Okay, so we've had this beef shank on here for about 8 hours at 225 degrees. We just increased the temperature to 275, so we're going to now take this off. We're going to wrap it tight, and braise it for the rest of the time until it hits about 203 to 205 degrees. So it's pulled away from the bone, and it will pull even further away from the bone as it braises. But we're at about 160 degrees, and we're gonna put it in on the foil, standing up. We are using beef broth and Cosmos brisket mop. We're gonna pour a good amount into here. We'll see how that does. You want a healthy amount of braise in this, and you're gonna do a tight wrap around it. So you want enough braise so that it covers the entire shank. Well, we are gonna put it back in the smoker at 275 degrees. We'll check it about every hour or so, just looking at the temperature, see how the temperature is coming up. But we're looking for the 203 to 205 degree temperature. Keep it at an angle. You want as much juice to stay in there as possible. Well, the shank is now done. We did 8 hours at 225 degrees. We then wrapped it, braised it at 275 degrees, and it took another about 3 to 3.5 hours. We pulled it off at 203 degrees. It's nice and moist and tender. It's time to shred this thing and make it into tacos. So what we're going to do is put it in a pan. We're gonna cut all of that butcher's twine, and you see it's already falling off the bone nice and quick. I'm gonna cut that twine off. Get it all pulled. We're gonna give that bone to my dogs. And it just shreds, nice and easy. Look how quickly that. Woo, we got some steam coming up. It's a little warm. You have all of these muscles coming into it, and so it should shred very, very quickly. If you got it up to the right temp, if you're having to pull it a little bit, you may want to throw some more liquid in your pan, throw it back in your smoker if you have the time, just get it up another couple of degrees. But the best and the easiest thing is just to make sure that you get it up to at least that 203 degrees so that it shreds nice and easy. All right, now let's make some tacos. All right, we're just going to make this nice and simple. A little bit of guacamole. Spread that around. A little bit of sour cream. Spread that around. And a couple pieces of this shank. Looking for a couple of pieces that have some bark on it. There you go. Nice full taco. Fold it and enjoy. That's fantastic. This is an easy, not too quick, but a very easy recipe that is delicious. I'm gonna have another bite. Thanks for joining us this time. You can get all of these supplies at our local barbecue pit stop or at barbecuepitstop.com.